Yo, 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 yo. Do.
Got that Lou Gehrig going
You
today.
like that? I like that? Just wanted to see
Yo, yo, Debo.
if I wanted to see if you were out there today in the technical difficulties group. But Duder, what's good?
Road game today. You correctly assessed. I am in the car driving, but otherwise it's all good. Had a good weekend. Had some fun with the significant other, and yeah, it's not a daylight savings Monday, so I feel refreshed, and ready for battle.
We will get to the daylight savings as we can. Let's bring out the just him. Sometimes you can see him, sometimes you can't. Come on back out of the black. G. How's
light?
There you go. Welcome. How's your weekend going, brother?
Hey, I'm not as high as I was this weekend.
I mean, sometimes it's nice to be, but
yes, but sometimes you don't get anything done.
Okay, all right. And the new medication is I don't want to say it's working,
yes.
but it's working better.
It does what VA medication does when you tell them you have a problem. Take this and you go to sleep. Remember that a couple of years ago when I first started the VA medicine, and every time I took it, I was always falling asleep.
Right.
That's pretty much what this pill is. Oh, really? You have that? Take this pill.
Wow.
And you go to sleep.
Wow. Just that.
But
quick.
then you're groggy for 2 days.
I don't know. We probably looks like Duder's going through a hill here in a second. He'll come back in a second. We were talking about how spooky the Dude and Debo show with G. I gotta add that part. We were talking. People are getting crazy this morning. We were talking about how spooky some things are, and I want to say that on the show, you have to remind me, G, if this was just the other day or whatnot, or it was last week. Did we speak it into truth? Did we speak daylight savings into truth? Is that a reality?
You guys did.
Okay,
you guys did. Dude was really adamant about how he didn't like daylight savings time, and it was odd because this weekend Congress agreed with him.
Okay, so just set a precedent. All right, it's not that it ever happened before, but it did happen this time.
It was very weird. Yeah.
We spoke it into truth. Is that some kind of way to say it? Okay. Yeah. I don't always get my words right, but sometimes I do let G fact check me and see. You know what I'm going to do here real quick? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this one real quick. I think it's this one. I'm going to bring Dude into your music. That'll just that'll make it right. Here we go. Duder, looks like you're back. Welcome back.
I feel like Congress bugged my mic. When I looked, I was muted, and I never hit the mute button. You muted me.
I had no control over here, sir. No control. Just another Zoom advocate over here. What Duder, did you hear about what happened about Congress?
I didn't. I vaguely saw something on Twitter of people complaining, like, see, you asked for it, now you're going to get what you asked for.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And it strikes me as exactly what Congress would do, and they would leave it on the shitty one. They leave it on spring forward.
They did.
I told you. This is why I was having the issue. Which was the right one? You were like, obviously, Dwayne, it's the back one. I was like, are you sure? You were like, duh, it's obviously that. I was like, okay, because I'm confused. And obviously, I wasn't the only one who was confused as well, because I was told otherwise. I was told the original.
This is exactly how our government works.
They can't get a no-fly zone over Ukraine.
Right, that's what you want? That's what you want? All right.
Yeah.
Here.
You get
the shitty one.
They passed that real quick.
Keep it.
Fine. You don't want to do this no more? Keep it. But wait, no. We went to, see?
Too bad.
See? Everybody?
Passed it at this point.
You had to open your mouth.
Yep.
You know what, guys? We're going to forget by the next time we do this. Fucking let's just pass it. Let's just get it done. You know what? They're going to bitch and moan either way. It's 50-50, guys. Okay? But it's really not 50-50 if you live in other states because you're higher and you're lower. And so it's not 50-50. But this is when we should have divided the country instead of in half, west to east to west. Should divide it as north to south.
It's always been west and east.
Yeah. Anyways.
So did you look at breakdown?
Go ahead, Drew.
I saw a breakdown of the maps where it was saying, like, all right, if you live, in the Northeast, it's going to be 10 a.m. before you get sunshine.
Yep.
And stuff like that. Did you see those?
No.
I did.
I didn't. I mean, recently on the trip to Alaska, I've had all the shock and awe of sunlight and no sunlight that anyone could take. And it being, what was it, like 11:30 at night before it started becoming dusk, yeah. But I got to be honest with you, man. So cool. So, I mean, it was really, really neat. Like, you're just like, oh, well, I guess we're still up. I guess we're just, and your body, it's like in Vegas. You know about the Vegas trick, right? When you go into the hotels and the casinos, and you walk outside and you're like, it's daytime, it's nighttime. I have no idea.
How long have I been in
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I call it,
it's one thing.
I was going to say, I call it, I got you.
On vacation.
I call it the Vegas sunrise. And I want to say it's because every year that I've ever been there, or every time, I go back, I dread knowing that I'm going to see the sunrise, but I didn't anticipate it, right? Like, I was like, I didn't plan to see the sunrise, and why am I watching the sunrise? Why am I watching the sunrise? This doesn't make any sense. Well, you were inside of a hotel all day. Sorry, dude, what were you trying to say?
Well, you're on the right track, but that's my point. Is it's one thing if you're on vacation, you're in Alaska, it doesn't get dark until 11:30 or midnight. You're like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
But if you had to go to work in the morning,
you're
like, what the fuck? I gotta put blackout blinds on my windows.
Yep.
I gotta take an Ambien or some shit to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing if you're in Vegas and you're in the casino till 7, 8 in the morning. And then you walk out to get your Uber, and you have that, Varsity Blues when they walk out of the strip club, and you're like, oh, the sun. You feel like a vampire.
Yeah.
That's all well and good if you're just going to go lay by the pool and sleep off your hangover.
If you got a game in the morning.
But if you got to do a 2-hour drive to Arizona for work, it's not great.
Yeah.
What would you know about that, dude? Or what would you know about that?
Just hypothetical.
Hypothetical. Okay. Well, listen. Speaking things into truth. Okay. And I just to prove a point, we're giving out the awards. Okay, we're giving out the awards for women, and because we're a couple of dumb men. All right. And here's another.
The All Men Show Awards for Women.
That's right. There you go. Makes no sense, but we'll make it work. So here's one I wanted to bring up. That something else that I will not say we spoke this one into truth at all. Where the women's basketball, something that we like on this.
If women got something, we're definitely taking credit for it.
That's just the men we are.
That's just how the men do. Okay, so in the women's basketball, give me right, NCAA, did I say that right?
Yes.
March Madness.
Thank you.
Final Four.
Well, and that's just
tournament.
it. This is the first year that it's allowed to be called March Madness for the women's.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
What
that.
was it called before?
Tournament, NCAA.
Tournament?
Yeah, but this is
tournament that we don't put on TV and
right.
claim nobody watches.
Right. This is
Yes.
This is March Madness men's and women's. It's not March Madness men's this year. Something that happened on a TikTok video last year was really cool. I saw a story on it today, and I just want to share it with you guys. Women's basketball last year went to the tournament, right? And they filmed the conditions that they were in and the conditions that the men were in. The women had like 3 dumbbells to lift in their gym, while the men had a full gym, like a full workout gym and a full every weights and tables and a full like room dedicated to working out. And the women had some dumbbells. Just why don't you just lift that real quick?
That's all the women need.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
You're not going to work out anyway.
A couple of 10-pounders.
Yeah, just
it's not like you're not Division I athletes.
Yeah,
well, you don't have any muscle as a woman playing basketball.
Tell it like it is. So here it is. So they filmed that on TikTok, right? And
I remember seeing them.
Okay, and so this year, a nice, worse than maybe a slap in the wrist foul. They got some extra points. You know what I mean? They spruced up the women's gym, and they were excited about that. Also, in the meal options that they gave the women were like, nah. Whereas the men were doing like 3 or 4 options. What would you guys like? What could we get you? Right? And so hopefully, and so that evidently has improved this year. But here's where I'm really excited. All right. So there was a ruling. Duder, you can help me out with this. G, you can help me out with this. Where college athletes are now able to make money on their likeness. Do we know about this?
Yes.
Okay.
Name, image, and likeness.
There we go. And so what is interesting is that the women are outpacing the men this year on TikTok.
So I don't. Well, on TikTok
on
for
TikTok,
sure. I don't know
okay.
if you recall when this ruling first came down, when they first passed this. I told you that there would be two women. I think they went to Fresno State. I could be wrong. I know it's a California school. Volleyball players who would get the biggest deals, and that's what happens. It's these two twins, and they have a huge following on Instagram, and they got like $1 million NIL deals.
Isn't that
well, supposedly with this March Madness, the girls are out doing the boys in making money for themselves, and I don't know. It's exciting to see. I'm not allowed to hand out awards, evidently by gender. If there's a gender problem. We're not allowed. It's not. No, still not. Okay, still not allowed to hand them out. But we want to congratulate the girls for doing it. Hey, listen, I'm excited that you beat the boys. A lot of people like to say it like this: "We knew you had it in you," which is some bullshit. But we appreciate it. I'm excited. I just want to bring that story some more light.
Well, it's not ever that they didn't have it in them. It's that the powers that be never really gave them the opportunity to show that they were capable.
Get it, dude.
You know, that's if you're not going to put them on TV and then claim that nobody watches. Like, how can we watch if it's not on TV? Women's sports get 10% of the airtime men's sports do, especially in college. But 40% of the D1 athletes are women.
Women's
but while we're
gymnastics
speaking of
get a
D1
big
athletes,
following.
I have to give a shout out to Caitlin Clark, women's basketball at Iowa. They lost this weekend. They were my pick to win it all. She's my favorite player this year. So good season, Iowa. Shout out Caitlin Clark. I hope to see you in the WNBA.
I just wanted to add, Duder, is there some personal feelings that you had to her, or is that just all professional?
Oh wow.
All professional. She's a dope basketball player. She's like the Steph Curry of women's college basketball. Like, she's shooting from the logo. She doesn't give a fuck. She's talking shit. She's crossing people up. Like, she's just a lot of fun to watch.
All right. Yeah. Though I only say that because you said you spoke so from the heart. I was like, is he in love? I don't know.
I thought you were saying that because the last name is Clark and my partner's last name is Clark.
No. I didn't tie those. I mean, words.
There's no family relation.
Okay, all right. But
that's good.
Another women's award that we can hand out today that we shouldn't, that we will anyways. Second woman to be nominated on the Supreme Court. Stop me, G. Did I get that one wrong?
No, she is not the second woman to be nominated for the Supreme Court. No.
Thank you. First black woman.
You got it about as right as Biden was.
Thank you. I wasn't sure because I was like, we got one
he's
woman
closer
on the.
than Trump. So
Thank you. We got one woman on the Supreme Court, if I'm not mistaken. I think that there's one that made it, right? And
she'll be the first black.
She'll be the first black woman to be on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, we had Ruth Bader Ginsburg, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So second, there was another to be nominated. Somebody else got nominated. It didn't make it. Was that right?
The one Trump did. The one Trump did from Handmaid's Tale.
Yes, she's on there.
No, she's on there. She nominated me. That'd be the first woman to be nominated. This is the second woman to be nominated.
No, this is the first black woman to be nominated for the Supreme Court. She's the first. What do you call it? Public defender to be nominated for the Supreme Court also.
Oh.
So she's breaking a lot of first on what she's doing.
I got to see
that
it.
She's going to run into, though, are the Republicans.
I got to see a little bit of that this morning being played out live on NBC or something.
Everybody's playing it.
Yeah, everybody's on it right now.
Full News is playing
it. I was watching some of the coverage. Well, because everybody's like, well, can we get off the war? What else you got? So, but I did see
bad news.
I did see a Republican from Texas. And so he was speaking, and so that's about. I'll stop there.
I have PTSD for Texas because the security guard that did the forward roll for the girl at the pool party. I don't know if
I don't remember. There was a pool party.
There was a pool party with some high school kids.
Okay, I remember this one. I remember
in a
this one.
gated community.
Yes, I remember this one.
And you remember the patrolman, the security guard.
Right.
He ran in with his weapon drawn and did a forward roll and pulled it out on this little girl, this little black girl.
They did the tumble, like he did the Bruce Willis. He did the Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Oh man, you should look that up.
I know. I remember it. No, I remember it now. I remember it. It just took me a second to bring that one back. Yeah. No, so, I remember that one.
Yeah, he's. I'm permanently, traumatized. By, the state of Texas.
Well, Texas.
And I got more people moving there, and they keep saying, "Why don't you come back and move to Texas?" No, I'm not moving.
Were you from originally Texas? Did you live there for a while? How long were you in Texas?
10 years.
Wow, I didn't even know that about you.
Texas and Oklahoma.
Wow.
You know my bus riding story.
I remember I forget it was Oklahoma, but I didn't know Texas was the destination. So
grandma to grandma.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's right.
Grandma.
All right, gentlemen. I sent you guys a quick idea that I want to hear your thoughts on this. In the idea of a novel, if you were going to write your first novel, you think you'd start with, your personal stories, or you think you'd embellish out into, fantasy in a world maybe not your own walk or journey? Which one would you start with?
Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, so out there in the mystical and magical land.
Yes.
Yeah, right on. Duder, how about you?
As you know, I long wanted to be a writer, and through much of my education in learning how to do that, I was told you had to have a lot of life experience before you could translate it onto the page. And so I think all writing starts with your own experiences, and then it's just how much of the actual facts are you going to share and claim as your own, and how much are you going to build into the characters that you're using. So that's my long way to say that I would do more fiction and kind of build it out into a story rather than like a memoir or tell my own.
I find myself noveling my life most days. I don't always, pick up a pen and paper and, write things down. But then even so, I see things play out, and I see myself like, okay, this is how my novel would read if I was writing at this moment. With you, I think you draw from a lot of life experiences, and pull into it. And I think it brings me to the title of the book that I'm going to have to write one day. And I wanted to ask your guys' opinions on it. And it would be, is it the rules of racism? How did I send that out to you guys this morning? The racism, I pulled it up and then I set it back down. It disappeared. Racism core values. I knew I had it right.
There you go.
There you go.
I think just on title alone, that book will get you on the New York Times bestseller.
It'll definitely get you on Foe.
Racism has its interesting life. Some days you kind of believe it to be dead or alive. Is that true?
It's always alive for me.
For me, it's pretty easy to feel that way.
Okay, so Duder agrees that racism can feel dead or alive. G, do you agree that racism can feel dead or feel alive? Is that true?
I can only feel that it's alive.
That's the only feeling that you can draw on. You don't ever draw on a feeling like racism is dead, dying, or done, right? You never have that downward motion and let you find a calm where racism isn't alive, right? Okay. Never. But Duder, I'm gonna swing back to you, brother. How do you swing into racism being alive or dead or present or maybe more active or less active? How do you swing to thinking, racism is either dead or alive?
I mean, I have to almost always view that through the experience of someone else. There's times when, the Washington football team will change their name from a racial slur, and now they have a stupid name, the Commanders. There's other times when it'll be, present and forefront in my life, but it's few and far between, and it's usually, someone I follow on Twitter who's Native American or has something to do with sports. But for the most part, especially in our country, it's usually other minorities, other people of color whose experiences I see, and that reminds me that, racism is, I don't want to say alive and well, but alive and thriving, alive and continuing. So it's usually talking to you guys, watching the news, watching you watch Fox News and they'll tell you that racism is dead until they want to blame Black Lives Matter for something.
Oh yeah, Black Lives Matter.
So for me it's not in the forefront. It's not I walk into a store and someone's following me around because they think I'm going to steal, or it's not I'm getting pulled over for DWB or anything like that.
So in that case, sometimes you can on self-judgment kind of feel like you say it's alive, it's dead. But again, you're basing it on.
Intellectually, I know it's not dead, but I can wake up, I can go about my day, and it not be in the forefront of my mind, and I'm not thinking, crap, I hope my kids don't have an incident at school today, or I'm not looking in the rearview mirror while I'm driving, even though I'm speeding. It's not. I don't have to have it in the forefront of my mind. I have the luxury of being able to live my life, and then when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that sucks. I wish that didn't happen to that other person, but it's not me.
Right. So you're able to go back through your life. You're able to kind of go, back to not worried about. I'm going to swing over to you. How come there is no downward feeling? How come your 50% never goes to 49? How come racism to you is always alive and always present?
I'm a black man in America.
And it's just that simple. Duder, can you mute that background for me just a second? You're on that freeway. You're on that open road. I'll bring you back. G.
Mute the white guy for this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just shut him up. Yeah.
That's all it comes down to. I'm a black man in America. Racism is always prevalent.
Is it always prevalent? Because I'm going to ask. I'm going to insert an argument that has been inserted to me at times that sometimes maybe because you're on 100% alert all the time, you're seeing racism that isn't there. Nope. You're seeing what Josh can't see. He's woke up, he's walked up, he's woken up, he's white, he's just walking around, hey, I'm not a black man in America. That shit didn't happen to me today. He's walking around, he's feeling free. He's feeling free of thought. And he can unmute himself at any time, so I don't want to just okay. And you wake up and it's right in the front of your mind. You say, I'm a black man in America, bro. I mean, I know where I am and what I am, and so it's apparent at me at all times. Is there any thought? Is there any reality to the fact that you walk out day? I'm going to call it like the way in the words that we go. It's called a chip. Okay. Do you walk out the front door with that chip on your shoulder, creating racist situations that aren't true?
No.
How come you feel that's not real? How come you feel that my perspective has no merit, sir? Excuse me. How come you feel that perspective has no merit?
For me?
Yes, for you.
That's easy because I don't need to walk out with a chip on my shoulder. I'm a disabled veteran. So being disabled, being a veteran, being black, and being a male have a lot of strikes against me on a daily basis.
That's right.
So I don't have to walk out not knowing that there's going to be some kind of judgment on anything that I do. The thing that I walk out thinking though is, do I care about what they're going to do or what they think or what they say today,
right,
or in this hour,
right,
or in this minute? You know, that's how that's something that I know I don't have a chip, because I'm only going for that moment. So if I go to a store and somebody says, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm not gonna say, "Why are you asking me that?" No, I'm not gonna immediately jump and pull the black card.
right.
If I walk into a store and somebody starts following me around, well, then I'm gonna pull the black card. Why are you following me? I'm in a wheelchair. It's not like I can get away really quick. I'm not gonna be hard to spot.
You know,
right?
G. I mean, you spoke it before. Come on back, Duder, when you're ready. And said, you walked into a restaurant once, and they said to you that they don't serve you
Oh yeah.
here.
Down.
And I get where you say right now, I walk out the house as a black man, as a man, as a veteran, and there was disabled.
Yeah.
So people already don't like me for several reasons.
Yeah.
And I feel that the moment I walk out the door, this time it happened to be the uniform.
Yep.
You're real cool with that. You say, hey man, that's political. That's obviously,
Yeah.
but when it's the color of your skin, something you can't do anything about. You can kind of, decide on a political party or decide to fight it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and sign on board with what y'all are talking about. But when it's the color of your skin, you don't have a choice. It's something that's that you have. The core values of racism, I believe, gentlemen, and please stop me when I'm incorrect. I believe that the core values of racism is fear.
Oh yeah.
I believe that the core values of racism lie in the fear that we hold within. And being raised by a lot of racist people in my life, because I was just around a lot of people who thought a very general way. That's what I can say. I've been around a lot of people that have thought in a very narrow, general way. I've picked up on a lot of racist things in my life that I know. I'm like, hey, that's kind of racist. I probably, this is probably, that is kind of, oh, wow, that's racist. That is racist right there. That's racism. And sometimes you have to kind of pick that up and find that for yourself. If I'm right, guys, someone can't hand you all of the tools in life. You got to pick up on some things on yourself and then recognize it and then, fight for what you believe is right.
You got to deal with it in your own way.
Yeah.
Do you accept it or do you stand against it? Everybody got to make a choice. So, I mean, for me, I woke up this morning and I keep hearing this commercial on Pluto TV, and it says, some people say America, the best example of America can be seen on the 4th of July. But we say that the best example of America can be seen on January 4th or February 4th. And I went, no, the best example of America can be seen on January 6th, 2020. You want to see the best example of America? Go look at that. Look at 45's tenure. That's the best example of America.
You know what? If I had to zoom in with a camera on the best example of America, I too might choose 2020, January 6th, the Capitol. But my lens might zoom in to the Capitol Guards.
Mine would go to what the goober said to all of his gooberites.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Raisinets.
Yeah.
And then him going to a tent and watching how they reacted on TV.
Well, that's, the presidential rally that he had a couple of years ago that is coming more to light today. And as a matter of fact, that we got judgment on one guy. Is that right? Did we get?
Yeah.
That was okay. And then they're in closed doors meetings and, going to figure out, okay, we got one. What are we going to do with everybody else, right? And so that's going on. and we're really kind of talking about Trump behind behind closed doors right now. There's a lot of that happening, but that I don't have words for any of that. I know it's happening, and I know what I want. The reason I don't have words for it is because I don't want to speak it into truth like other things. I know what I want to happen. I know what I want to happen.
Well, I've already seen that. I mean, this country has always been hypocritical. When they can say in writing, all men are created equal and endowed with such inalienable rights as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, while at the same time taking a group of people that were already here, stealing their land, calling them savages while stealing their land, and killing them off in systematic racism, taking a group from another country, bringing them over here as slaves, and instead of living up to that creed of all men are created equal, not seeing them as men, seeing them as not even cattle, 3/5 of a bull. When you think about all that stuff, it's difficult to go, racism is going to die. This country was built on racism. It's not ever a time where there's a lull in the racist behavior of this country.
Well, if I, as a privileged white man, can add my expertise to this topic on racism.
Obviously, there's nothing we can say about it. So go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I muted myself. I'm just going to unilaterally take over the racism discussion in America today.
This is critical. This is critical race
right
theory right here.
As a white man in America, I would say to answer your question about what is the moment or the lens, the July 4th conversation about America. I think it's September 12th, 2001. Because on that day, we all came together, black, white, man, woman, we all came together to hate someone else. And that's the only thing that unites all Americans. Like, oh, there's someone with dark skin.
Yeah, we always come together for a war.
Them.
This is a violent country.
Right.
Always come together for a war. But we can't come together to beat homelessness. We can't come together to. You
gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah,
those guys don't pay enough taxes.
To educate our young. We can't come together to take care of our elderly. And the best judge of a civilization is how it takes care of its elderly and how it educates its young. We are a piss poor example of this.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, and that's exactly why I chose September 12th, 2001. Because we cannot come together for all those important things that you mentioned. We cannot come together to educate the kids properly. Get the fuck out of here with this critical race theory nonsense. We cannot come together to help the housing deficient. We cannot come together to help the old people. We cannot come together even for a fucking pandemic. But if someone brown on the other side of the world
we
wants to start some shit, you damn well better believe we're all going to hold hands and say fuck them together.
It's the hell out of you. It's weird though when it happens a little too close to white people, NATO, and we don't knee jerk react and go kill somebody.
Yeah, that is weird.
No, we gotta think things out.
We gotta think this through. We gotta think this through.
Yeah,
think this through.
We gotta try a diplomatic process. We're gonna try a diplomatic way. We're gonna put sanctions in place. How are you gonna sanction somebody?
Predominantly white country, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, sanctioning somebody is like putting a child in timeout who really doesn't give a care. We're gonna sanction you. So, and what else? I'm still gonna act a fool.
We're gonna take some rich boats.
Yeah, I think that
all right.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. You go back to Vietnam. We're like, yeah, we'll go. Yeah. It's fine. You go back to.
Fuck them.
You go back to non-white conflicts. A little
too dark for my liking.
Yeah, I've been watching George Carlin this weekend too.
Oh
so,
boy.
I've been having a ball listening to if you're brown, we'll bomb the hell out of you. We'll bomb the only reason why we bombed the last white people that we bombed were the Germans. And why? Because they were cutting in our action. Yeah. We bomb the brown people in this world.
This. Yeah.
We do that. That's the only reason why we
It's crazy how spot on George Carlin was,
years ago. Years ago. Yeah, I enjoy that guy a lot. He's hilarious.
And he also mentioned, I forgot in this one comment, he said the only thing that the Earth is going to take care of itself. How is the Earth going to take care of itself? Perhaps a virus.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. I went, whoa.
See, these guys.
Don't worry about the Earth.
See
Don't
what?
worry about the Earth. The Earth is going to shake us off like fleas.
They've known all along.
The Earth is going to shake us off like fleas. Don't worry about save the planet.
We're not as big as the dinosaurs.
Kill each other.
Shake them off.
Duder, would you do me a favor and check the canceled meter? What number are we at on this show so far?
We're at we're only at a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. That's not
cancel meter.
Yeah, that's not bad. 6 out of 10. That's not bad. We'll get canceled later. All right, guys.
Go
for it. Go ahead, dude.
Real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I was watching I Love Lucy documentary this weekend, Desi and Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucy was named in the McCarthy trials, McCarthyism. She was a registered communist.
Uh-huh.
And this, above all everything else we talk about, this tells me that cancel culture is not real, because the woman was officially a registered communist. And they're like, "Oh, Lucy's a registered communist." Yeah,
let's watch her show.
Still gonna watch.
Yeah,
still gonna watch I Love Lucy.
Watch her show.
It's of course, still the most watched show.
If you ask R. Kelly, cancel culture does work.
Right. So I'm saying cancel culture is not. If you ask
Michael Jackson, cancel culture doesn't work.
Right. If you're big enough, the cancel culture doesn't work. If you're not big enough, then you need to not mess up bigger than you are.
Yeah. Stay within your limit. If you know you only affect this many people over here,
don't piss off that many
over here.
So then let me ask you this: then, how close is Putin to being canceled? Then, because
he's always been canceled.
Nah, thank you. Yeah, I don't think he's that close either.
He's always been canceled.
Man, I mean,
but nobody's afraid. Everybody's afraid to tell him that he's canceled.
Yeah.
And this incident has just proven that he's a spoiled child, and the world is afraid of him. And if Trump, oh gosh, I was just thinking about Trump Jr. He got on TV saying Putin was afraid of his dad, and I laughed so hard.
Bush said some shit like that too once, and we got the oil.
Yeah, I laughed so hard.
Trying to get that oil.
He said Putin was afraid of my dad. Really?
I think that's the only thing Putin's got to worry about.
Your big fat daddy, your fat daddy, who can barely walk down a flight of steps. Not even a flight. He couldn't walk down 8 steps. I can walk down 8 steps, and I've had a stroke.
Well, there you and that's why they're not going to ask you to walk down those damn steps, gentlemen. I'm going to take you guys out of here at the moment. Walk you guys down the hallway over here, and in the first room, we're going to go to the men's locker room first. Men's locker room, yeah, that's where the place to go. Let's check in here to the men's locker room right here. We got G in the men's locker room today, checking out all the men's facilities here. How do you like your locker room and food here in the men's locker room today, G?
I love the Smith machine that they have in here. I love the array of weights. And can you believe they have that incline rowing machine over here?
Dang, they got a rowing machine. That's not bad. That's not bad. Is that dude getting a massage over there in the corner? Is that happening right now? Wow,
that is.
That's not bad.
There's
many? Have you counted?
Here.
Have you counted, or do you know how many televisions there actually are in this room, or you don't?
I think there's 13, 14. Okay. If you count the coach's offices, because the coach has a TV.
Well, those 10 over there, do they count as 10 or 1?
Well,
they're all showing one image.
Well, yeah.
I was wondering. Thank you, Duda, for clarifying, because I was wondering that. I seen that too. Well, listen. We appreciate you for being men and having a locker room. I heard the food's nice. Yes. Keep up with the tournament. I heard you guys are in it, March Madness. Rock on with that. Check out there. I'm gonna leave here. G, anything last minute shout outs here before I leave the locker room and head over down the hall in just a second?
Shout out to Behringer for their great mixer.
Who's Behringer? I'm sorry.
They made my mixer.
Oh, they and so you appreciate. G, until next week, we'll get back to you. Thank you for your thoughts, brother.
Okay.
Over to down the hall, just a little bit down here. I'm gonna walk on down by, and dude got a head start for some reason into the girls' locker room. I don't know why, but Duder, here you are into the girls' locker room. One reason for some reason. How come? I mean, weren't we gonna do the interview on the inside of the girls' locker room, or it's not gonna happen, or what's the deal?
No, it does not. I thought that'd be a great place to do the interview as well.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna.
Doesn't look like that's gonna work out.
Okay, all right. Well, did you get to see the inside? Did they show you what they got on the inside? I make sure they got 50 TVs and a good gym. Pretty sure all set up.
I mean, I saw one 3-pound weight. I don't know if there was a matching set. I saw a couple Lunchables and 3 Diet Cokes.
Massage table?
No, I mean I was gonna offer some massages, but they told me they usually just have to lay on the floor.
They felt that it was misogynistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Any last minute shout outs here, dude, before we get out of here today?
Shout out your girl Brittany Griner. She's still stuck in Russia.
Yeah, we're still. 2 years ago, I think they had signs up that said "Free Britney," but I think they were talking about something else. I think they need the signs back out. Get Britney back out of here. Duder, appreciate you for the shout out for her. To all you guys out there still listening, check it on. Keep it real, and racism's real. Ask G. All right, peace.
All right, later.